Hey guys, what's up? It's the real XXTobyXX. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about Starfox 2. Starfox 2 is a game that I have, well, when I was younger, when I was about 10 or 12, I was really looking forward to this release from Argonaut Games. Argonaut Games is the original creator of the Super FX chip. Super FX chip is the chip that's found in the original Starfox, Stunt Race FX, and various other Super FX games. And after Star Fox 1 was released and everyone went crazy for it, Star Fox 2 was supposed to be out. Unfortunately, Star Fox 2 was being made or was being, pushed out around the time that Nintendo was more worried about the Nintendo 64, at the time the Ultra 64 release. So it ended up messing that up. So Shigeru Miyamoto ended up saying, "Hey, how about we just cut it here and just end up, putting a pause between the 3D games for the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64, and for the release of the Nintendo 64." Now, there's been several leaked ROMs of Star Fox 2 out there. First one was released on Usenet back in 94, 95. And the second one was a beta copy that was copied over from, I believe, the Winter CES show. Somebody got a hold of that and ended up copying that over onto the internet. And the last one finally was released by someone that actually worked at Argonaut or Nintendo. Not really sure. To cut a long story short, Star Fox 2 was supposed to be released um, around the time that the Super Nintendo's lifespan was almost over, and Nintendo was more preoccupied releasing the Nintendo 64 at the time, called the Ultra 64 hardware. So Shigeru Miyamoto told the Argonaut guys to just not release the game, and the game ended up being pushed into the Nintendo Vault. Several copies of the beta and prototype cartridges were released on the internet on Usenet, and with the final Japanese copy of Star Fox 2 being released as early as 2004, uh, the the final game, not the actual final game, but the almost completed version of the game, was about maybe 90 to 93% completed. A few things were left in there that were not, that a completed game would not have. For instance, the debug menu was in there, a frame rate counter, and several other things. Um, Also, all the text was in Japanese. This wasn't a translated game at all, and nobody really cared. But a couple of homebrew people, a couple of real dedicated fans, have patched the game to have English menus, English text, and got rid of all the debug, all the pre-alpha code, everything. Just fix it up and made it a complete game for people to find on the internet. Unfortunately, it's really hard to find nowadays a pre-patched ROM copy of Star Fox 2. Now, I'm really privileged to have found someone that made me a cartridge copy of Star Fox 2. It cost me a pretty penny to get this, but I'm not really, someone who knows how to solder very well, and I'm not really an electrical engineer type of person. I could end up doing this, but I really just ended up giving this guy $40, and he made me a Star Fox 2 copy with the box and everything. Unfortunately, for legal reasons, I'm not allowed to post this stuff up, so I'm just gonna take pictures and show you guys what a prototype, what a Star Fox 2 finished copy would have looked like had it come out back in 94, 95. The game is it's really amazing for its time. Um, it has free roam abilities. A lot of the Star Fox 64 stuff is found in Star Fox 2, and a lot of this Mario 64 stuff, like the platform gaming and a lot of these little things that were used in that game are in Star Fox 2. For instance, the camera shifting around and Star Fox 64, you were able to drive a tank. In this one, your R-Wing transforms into a tank, sorta. And there's just a lot of stuff that was just beyond its time for a game. Had it been released, I think it would have made a big splash. It would have been one of those incredible, awesome games to end the life cycle of a hardware. You know, Unfortunately, for the last Super Nintendo game ever produced was Kirby Part 3. Star Fox 2 would have blown everything out of the water, and it's so messed up that Shigeru Miyamoto told these people at Argonaut to just not, to just can the project that you could tell really put a lot of hard work and effort into this. Another thing I would like to talk about is that the fact that this was going to be a Super FX chip too, because the game is really phenomenally amazing for its time, and I'll show you guys a few clips of myself beating the game. A lot of it pushes the hardware to its limit. I mean, your R-wing transforms. There's like multiple enemies on screen. Your R-wing gets set on fire. There's sprites, 3D polygons, and a bunch of stuff on a 16-bit system, and I think that's something that should be awarded. And I think these guys, should really get, you know, their appreciation for such hard work. And I'll attach a documentary about the Super Effects and the guys that worked on Star Fox 2, and you guys could read a little bit about this. I'm actually making this video for all those people that have not really heard of Star Fox 2 or knew that there was a sequel. Yeah, there was a sequel. It was unreleased and it was pushed away for bigger, better things on the Ultra 64, aka the Nintendo 64. There's also video of MN12 Bird playing Star Fox 2 on an emulator, and you guys should check that out. So